Welcome back to Being Paige. I'm here again with another video. I know it's been a long time and I'm working on it. Yeah, there's this thing called imposter syndrome and I wanted to make a whole separate video on that because man, that is a doozy. And yeah, I have all these ideas for videos and I really want to manifest them, but life gets in the way. So, here today, and I'm going to talk about my low waist period hacks, or I guess tools I use or whatnot. So the first one I wanted to show is my hot water bottle. I don't know why it's called a bottle, but this has been a lifesaver. If any of you ladies suffer from cramps, this, oh my gosh, this is so great. All you do is basically fill it up with water, hot water, 3/4 of the way, and then let go of any remaining air at the top, just squeeze it out, and then you'll just screw the cap on, and then you'll place this on your abdomen, usually over your clothes or over like a thin towel. Then you'll just let it sit there for as long as you can tolerate the heat. Usually I'll notice it starts working pretty much right away. And it's just a nice relief. I also use it during the night, like overnight, and especially when it's cold during winter, it's just like so comforting. I don't know, there's something about heat and warmth at night when it's cold that's very soothing. So highly, highly recommend. I don't think these are really expensive, but buy one. The other thing I use that's kind of like the hot water bottle is this thing called a heating patch, and I bought this at Target. I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks cool. And the benefit of this is that you could obviously wear it and go outside. Like you couldn't really strap the heating pad or water bottle on you outside. So I've used this out and about, and it actually works and it helps. You don't put this directly on the skin, you'll put it on like your underwear or maybe some other like fabric that's tight fitting over your abdomen. What's really helpful is to wear high-waisted undies with this. So ladies, get some high-waisted undies. The cool thing too is it's made with rose oil, lemon oil, and jasmine oil. And that's the back. That's my hair that's stuck on it. So yeah, these can last up to 8 hours, which is crazy, but I've definitely can attest to that because it has worked for 8 hours. So I like it. It's something nice to have handy, you know, especially if you're traveling or, you know, not near your home with the hot water heater. So it's good to have. Okay, now as far as things I use for my period when I am actually bleeding, Thinks Undies. This I bought a while ago. It's the only pair I have. There's some like lint on it. And these are actually remarkable. I was skeptical at first, trust me, I was definitely one of those people. But you know what, I was like, this would be something great to wear at night or during like my heaviest flows. And so how they work is that the bottom part of it, literally the crotch part, has like super absorbent material. It's like a pad, like a built-in pad right here. And then once you wear it, you can bleed without worrying about leaking. It's black, so it doesn't, the blood doesn't show on other clothes. I've worn this like for a whole day and I've been fine. I've worn this overnight and had no leakage. And then after you wear it, you just run it, I think under cold water or hot water, I don't remember. And then wash it with your clothes and then I air dry it and voila, it's all good. So I wanna get more of these because I mean, having to obviously rinse it and then wash it is like a whole nother thing that I normally don't wanna be doing while I'm on my period. So to have a couple of those handy, I think would be really helpful. Just so I don't have to think about, you know, prepping that every time I need to use it. So as far as Tampons, I don't use tampons. Actually, I take that back. I use it, but rarely. If I'm in a bind, I will use a tampon, but I'll get organic cotton. That's really important because there are a lot of chemicals in feminine hygiene care products. Just do the research. Why is toxic shock syndrome a thing? Because of those chemicals. So, I officially stopped using tampons back in college, my freshman year of college. And I don't remember how I discovered this, but I must have been doing research or following somebody or whatnot. But I heard about these things called Diva Cups or menstrual cups. And these are cups, and I will show you. And people are like, oh, that's gross. But bear with me. So they come in these like little pouches, and I forgot how much they cost, but I remember when I first bought it back in college when I was broke, it was expensive, but honestly, they last for like up to 10 years, and they're just, I mean, you're not paying for a tampon or a pad, you're just paying for this one-time thing. And what they look like is this. It's like a little menstrual cup with a little, I don't know, doohickey at the end to help pull it out, obviously. And I know this is gonna seem like weird or too granola for some people, and that's okay. But don't knock it until you try it, because honestly, this was like a game changer in my whole like period toolbox and toolkit. I've used this so often, and this is a newer one. I have another one that I use for backup, and it will stain over time, which is why I'm not showing this one. But I do disinfect them or clean them after every use. And how I do that is basically by reserving a glass jar that's like probably that size and that big around for this specifically, and I'll boil some water, pour it into the glass jar, dunk this, and just let it sit there and basically let it disinfect. But it did take a while to get used to, and I know there can be some uncomfortability with using a Diva Cup, especially because there's this like notion that like our periods are dirty and we shouldn't be touching the blood or even be like near it. But I think by using a Diva Cup and having used a Diva Cup for like almost like the past decade, I've actually grown more comfortable with my own menstrual blood and my own, yeah, I guess like my own vagina, because clearly this is in it. Oh God. But anyhow, so yes, Diva Cup, just like that. This Diva Cup is the name of the brand, but there are other brands that sell them. But that's just the one I found, and I've never strayed away from Diva Cup, so that's what I use. But you can just type in menstrual cups. Okay, so if I do use tampons for whatever reason, I use these. I normally will just get whatever organic cotton tampons I can find at the store, but this one's from a brand called This Is L. And I'm looking at their website now because I don't have the actual package. Their packaging is environmentally friendly plastic that is recyclable, and they are all organic cotton tampons that are free of artificial ingredients. And the artificial ingredients are what increase absorbency, so people who use these tampons may notice that they change them out more often, but honestly, that's better than risking toxic shock syndrome. And the company was founded by this photojournalist who worked for the Red Cross and United Nations. It says, after documenting humanitarian crises around the world, her coverage of women's lack of access to reproductive rights and the effects of HIV/AIDS on young girls inspired her to action. How cool is that? So again, the company is called This Is L, and I use their tampons when I need to. I also just keep one in my purse just for any reason because they're a little more discreet to carry than other things. So yeah. Okay, so as far as pads go, I do wear pads sometimes. If I'm not wearing my Undies overnight, I'll wear pads just in case there's any leakage or whatnot. And so I used a couple companies, again, always organic. There's one company, Rael, the one who makes the heating patches. They also make organic cotton pads, and I use theirs, usually the overnight ones. because that's when I need it. So again, Rael, I think that's how you say it, I don't know. And I think that was again from Target, I found these pads, but I started using these because my sister had them. It's called the Honey Pot. And what's cool is that they are herbal pads that you can use to, I don't know, help your stuff down there. So yeah, I use these only at night. I don't prefer to wear something herbal like that during the day. They do have a nice smell to it. It's not a fragrancy smell. And they do like help kind of soothe that area, especially if like, I don't know, I've just been feeling kind of like gross down there. Not gross, what's the word? Like uncomfortable with everything happening. So yeah, I'll wear these and it has no fragrances. What you smell is essential oils, or at least herbal stuff. This is that one. Okay, moving on. Okay, so last but not least, there's two types of, I guess you can call them supplements that I take during my period and even before, when I know I'm gonna get it. I'm pretty regular and I do track my period. And so, God, everything's just falling today. So the first one that I'm gonna talk about is called Semaine. And this is a brand I discovered on Instagram after following some like ladies who talk about menstrual health, and I'll link their IG handles below. But Semaine is a really cool company. I did my research on them. They're vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, plant-based, and this in particular is capsules that you would take either morning, afternoon, or evening with your period, depending on how intense the symptoms are. They come with 9 plant extracts and minerals. So these are all just like to give your body a boost during your period. And it says under here, plant-based wellness for bloating, cramps, and mood. I do know that if I take these consistently at the very beginning of my cycle, they'll lessen the amount of pain I have, or at least like the bloating and the cramps. But I mean, I do have horrific cramps, and that's something I'm working on myself with a functional medicine doctor, because cramps can be for a variety of reasons. So if you have extreme cramps, obviously go see a doctor or somebody you trust who deals with, you know, holistic health. But this is just a good boost to have. I like taking them. I like knowing that I'm not ingesting any other harmful stuff. I used to take Midol and naproxen for years, not anymore. Sticking to that. And I'm also sticking to this, which is organic raspberry leaf. And this is a tea that I'll take at the very beginning usually, or even like a day or so before, because it basically primes my body to allow myself to shed the blood. This says eases menstrual cramps and supports a healthy pregnancy. So yes, pregnant women can also take this, and it also helps like tone their body for when they give birth. I don't necessarily dislike the flavor. It's not like anything special, but I know it can be really hard to drink tea when it's hot as hell during the summer. So you can also just make sun tea or make tea and then make it iced. Just figure out ways to like ingest tea that are helpful, because there are a lot of great herbal stuff out there for cramps. And I know I have a lot more that I want to try out, but I'm not suggesting them until I've done them or I've used them myself. But this one I do recommend, and I like it. I just threw everything down there. So yeah, that's basically what I use on my period, and it's coming up soon, so here I am gearing myself up for that. But a couple other tips that I just like to suggest is please track your cycle. I think that's the best thing any female can do, is to be better aware of what's going on in your body and to expect your periods. It's not just this like, you know, dramatic thing that happens that like derails your life. Because I know sometimes, like, especially because of the society we live in, being that it's so go, go, go and masculine dominated, when we get our period, we're expected to just continue with that like go, go, go pace, and our periods are like gifts, and they're trying to show us to come, they're trying to allow us to come back into balance with our yin side instead of the yang side. And the yin is all about the divine female side, divine feminine. So I like to see of course it's 11:11 as soon as I said that. I hear you, universe. So when I get my period, I like to see it as a time for rest, for nourishment, for a ton of self-care, for a ton of just love for my body and for the amazing things that happens this time of the month. And I usually do gentle yoga only is what feels good for me as a form of exercise, so whatever works for you, but generally not like high intensity workouts, especially if you're losing a lot of blood. Make sure to eat a lot of iron-rich foods like lentils, spinach. I know there's more, but I'm already forgetting. Root veggies are also really good just for that grounding. So if you watch my last video, which I'll link down below, I used this app called Stardust for a while, and it looks like this. It will load. So Stardust looks like this. This is an app that will track your cycle to the moon cycle. So if you're interested in that, please use that. This one's free, Stardust. I linked it in my last video, so go to that video. But if you're also curious for another different type of app, I just got this one, MyFlow, which was $2, but it's based off the book by Elisa Vitti. I hope I'm saying her name right. And what's really cool is that it has all these different like areas that you can check out, and the author of the book that also developed this app really talks about the 4 different cycles of our menstrual, or of our period. Like the cycle phases are right there, and you can click on any of them. Like right now I'm on luteal. Is it luteal? Yeah. And it will give you like a description of what's going on. And it's just been really interesting to read and learn like while it's happening, because I think it gives women just in general so much empowerment. And there's a recommendation page, and I just started using this app, but already I'm like really obsessed. So again, that one was $1.99 to buy, and you can buy the book to along, which I believe is called Woman Code by Lisa Vitti. I'll link it down below. If I can find the links to all the products I use too, I'll also link that. And one more thing I forgot to mention. When you're on your period, just relax. I struggle with watching more than one episode of a show on Netflix. So when I'm on my period, I really allow myself to just be and relax, maybe binge on some Netflix shows or movies. Try not to think that I need to be productive, because I don't know about you all, I have an issue. We can explore this topic in a whole nother video, but I have an issue with tying my self-worth to my productivity levels. And so when I'm on my period and I'm in pain, I feel stagnant, I feel stuck, I feel like I should be doing something. And the fact that I'm not doing it, or I'm not doing enough, just makes the pain worse and makes the experience more like it's like I'm suffering. And so I really try to focus on allowing myself to do some of my guilty pleasures, like watch Netflix in bed, or binge out on YouTube videos, or take a bath. And it's not even guilty pleasure, it's just these things that I can reserve for periods of my life where I need a little bit of extra self-love and self-care, and that's totally okay. So don't be hard on yourself. Like, just really understand that like you're shedding blood. That sounds weird, but like your body's going through a lot. And I always have to tell my partner, like, just give me grace, please just give me grace, because I'm usually hormonal, moody, just like feeling so off. And the last thing I need is to get into an argument or to have like some miscommunication problems. So yeah, if you do have a partner, make sure that they're aware too of what's going on, and let them know how you feel. Let them know what you want. Like, ask for help. There's nothing wrong for asking for help. Men's cycles are only 24-hour days. So female cycles are monthly. And there's a lot more that happens, and it's just a whole other thing that we have to deal with, considering the society we live in. So enough of my rant. That's all. I love you guys again. See you in my next video. Bye. Okay. It's that dulce. So chewy.